There are people still in this world who are going in harm's way every day for some basic survival needs.
Women in the developing world face enormous obstacles as they work to feed their families. Just acquiring wood for cooking is a source of great hardship. Collecting wood is dangerous and nearly impossible in heavily deforested areas, and buying wood can eat up more than a third of household income. Cooking itself takes many hours a day for a typical woman in Africa, and 4 million people die each year from breathing smoke from traditional wood-burning fires. That's more than 6 times as many people who die from malaria. Potential Energy believes that improving everyday tasks can change the very course of a person's life. With our clean cook stoves, we're working to change how people cook, making it faster, cheaper, and safer.
Potential Energy is a social enterprise. And as an enterprise, you really want your consumers demanding your product. And best way to do that is to engage them in the design and the way the prototype works.
A core value at Potential Energy has been to focus on responsiveness to customer needs. And in this case, our customer are the women who cook in the refugee camps in Darfur.
Dr. Ashok Gadgil and volunteers from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory and Engineers Without Borders developed, tested, and refined the stove. Today, the Berkeley Darfur stove is one of the most efficient and cost-effective wood-burning stoves on the market.
Very often for the end user, what matters is that it's convenient. If you're going to sell it, it needs to be affordable, it needs to be robust, and they need tens of thousands of these, hundreds of thousands of these.
Potential Energy was founded to help get the stoves out of the lab and into the hands of the women who need them.
Their whole culture is tied very closely to a particular way in which they cook. And you don't want to disrupt that because that is the one last thing they're hanging on to.
We've set up a tight system that brings together local partners, a dependable supply chain, and coordinated distribution channels. The stoves are manufactured as flat kits in India and sent to Darfur, where they're assembled in local shops and sold by women to women. So far, we've helped distribute over 20,000 stoves in Darfur. Our customers there have given the Berkeley Darfur stove its own Arabic name, Kanoon Khamsa Dagaig, or the 5-minute stove, because of how much time they save by cooking on our stove.
It cooks food so much faster than the 3-stone fire, and actually one of the things that the women have added to the training is timing the different stoves and cooking the same meal. So they all, someone finds a cell phone and they all time it, and then they erupt into clapping and cheering when the 5-minute stove finishes the meal much, much faster.
Potential Energy is now taking this technology and approach far beyond Darfur. Our newest project is in Ethiopia, where we're developing a stove customized to local cooking traditions. We are setting up a supply chain to manufacture the stove in-country and partnering with local women's groups to sell the stoves and train customers to get the most from their investment.
People are really impressed with us being able to customize the stove, and they're also really interested in manufacturing of the stove. So in Ethiopia, we'll be making the stove completely locally.
There are fundamental levers that, if they're unlocked appropriately, enable Potential Energy to scale in its economic and human impact massively more than just linearly. If we can unlock the essence of the value of a piece of intellectual property, much like software in the Valley or like any other internet or technology business can scale exponentially. You will unlock a market, and in a way that is scalable, it's sustainable, and like I said, the impact can be much, much more than just linear.
We could use our smart minds to do a lot of things, but keeping in center of who are we serving? What's the need?
Potential Energy has the unique, I would say, DNA in the organization that they're deeply committed to take science and technology innovation to help people at the bottom of the pyramid.
Potential Energy plans to reach many thousands of women and their families throughout Africa. Your donation is really an investment in technology innovations, in small businesses, and in the potential of the many women and children whose lives are changed for the better through our work.
It's truly amazing